back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and reactions on the, I believe, is it 4 or 5 urban fiction slash erotica like book recommendations. You guys remember how I was telling you back in September, I went through a little like black romance type of phase. Because of that, on like Audible, they have like, recommendations, like if you like this book you will like that, book. So I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on the 4 or 5 that I listened to. Let me pull out my list. So it was 4 books that I had listened to. And the first one was When a Savage Finds a Good Girl by Tina J. You remember I told you guys I had listened to that like a couple of months ago. I didn't finish it, and it wasn't because it wasn't good. I just, you pick up other stuff, you forget about it. So this one considered urban fiction, and it's just, typical urban fiction. The guy, you got a guy in the drug gang. He got, a baby mama, but he like one girl trying to get with her. And then you got, 2 best friends that, they're thick as thieves, and they got a little money problem, so they got to do some stuff. It's typical. It wasn't anything like, oh my goodness, it's so good. I do like Tina J's writing, and I would consider listening to more of her works. But this one, it's a typical urban fiction book, so it wasn't nothing to write home about. And that also is a series. I believe there is either 2 or 3 book to that series. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I'm probably not gonna go and listen to the 2nd or 3rd one, because that guy Cruz, it's just like, first of all, yo, ex baby mama living in your house, but you trying to kick it with a girl, and then the girl know like, oh, he got a baby on the way. And I don't think she know that like that the baby mama, ex baby mama living with him. No, he didn't divulge that clearly. But I'm like, girl, I can't listen to that. No. So yeah. Okay, the next is What's Really Hood by Wahida Clark. Now that actually is an anthology, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories in them. Now I was kind of disappointed in this one, because Wahida Clark she actually introduced me to urban fiction literature. I started out really late. I was like 28 years old when I started reading urban fiction, and I started off with The Coldest Winter Ever, and it didn't really do anything for me. And I'm like, well, I want to read something else, and I stumbled on her works, the Thug series. Unbelievable. So I'm like, anything that she writes, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so good, I have to get it. Again, she edited, I guess, book. She edited, the stories, but she did have one story that was by her. So, okay. The first story was Black is Blue by Victor L. Martin. This one, you have a young man, I forgot his name. He obviously in a drug game, and he all about the drugs, but he starts going out with a girl that is really conservative, for him. She like works in an office, and she don't know nothing about that or whatever, and he really don't feel her. He just using her, for her body and all that stuff. And again, typical hood fiction, where you gonna have, them doing some stuff in offices, and girl. And because he's in the drug gang, girl, she get mixed up in some stuff and almost get got, and that one, my nerves is all rattled. Yeah. That one, it didn't do nothing for me. Okay. And then the next one is The P is Free by LaShondra Sidbury. And this one is about Wiz and Crystal. Wiz, he is 18 years old. He is obviously in a drug game. And his thing is, he don't care who he sell it to as long as he getting his money. His mama is even, on drugs, and he hates that, but he's like, well, I don't want her to get it from anybody else, and they might have something laced in it. So yeah. But again, he doesn't do any of it. He just, sell the drugs. In comes Crystal. Crystal was a sophomore or junior in college, and she tried, some drugs, and it was like no looking back. She hooked. So he really likes her. And he's like, I'm gonna help this girl maybe get off drugs and all that. And he really is trying to help her, but it's just so difficult. And you see how it goes. Now, one thing I did not like about this, y'all, cliffhanger back, okay? What happened to their relationship? What happened to Crystal? What happened to Wiz? Like, it just ended abruptly. Where you like, girl, I need a little bit of closure. You could have gave me something. It also was a twist to it, and I didn't mind the twist, but I needed to know what was going to happen. So, because I was like not feeling the first story, we're not feeling the second story, I'm like, I'm not listening to the third one, which is The Last Laugh by Bonita, and I'm not listening to All for Nothing by Sean Trumps. So I can't even tell you what that's about because I skipped it. If you do watch the video of like the recommendations of this book, I give a synopsis of each story. So if you want to know about those two stories, go back to that video. Now, I did listen to the last story by Wahida Clark because it is Wahida Clark. It's called Making Ends Meet. And you have a young girl named Nia. Nia got 3 baby daddies by the time she 20, if that. And she is struggling when it comes to finances. Like, she get a little bit of money and it's gone because she's trying to take care of the kids, bills and stuff like that. She living on Section 8. I mean, it's horrible. So she starts to boost clothing and like does a really good job at it. Then she started doing this credit credit card scheming, or I know it's bank fraud or something, where like check fraud. You have like a person's ID and like a check, and you go to the credit union and you like cash it. And she was really good at it. And she got 1 baby daddy that's in prison, and she thinking, you know what, I gotta do something else because, you know, I can't do this forever. I got kids. But her baby daddy that's in prison talking about, oh, you can't leave and go to the South with my kid. First of all, you in jail. What can you do? And you go be there for a good amount of time. And his little daughter, what, 3 or 4? And like I said, he gonna be in there a good amount of time. Don't tell me where I can't take my baby. Like, you should have thought about that before you went to the penitentiary. You know what I mean? He got on my nerves with that. So she thinking in the back of her head like, oh, you know, I forgot his name because he's got on my nerves. Like, should I do that? Should I not? Again, you see how it goes. Now, I was also disappointed in this one because it is a cliffhanger. She leaves you hanging just like the other story, the PS3. I mean, it's just like they end the sentence and it's like, okay, you know, what happened? I don't like stories like that. I mean, it doesn't have to wrap up in a nice, neat bow, but give me a little bit something, y'all. I mean, because when you do that, it felt like you just wasted your time. I feel like I wasted a good, 50 minutes listening to that. So I was kind of disappointed in the What's Really Good because I was thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm going to like this. You know, I was reading the synopsis like, oh, this going to be good. Girl, no. Only thing that was good about that, I would say, is the narrating. Because, you know, narrating, if you're listening to a book, a narrator can kill the book. You like, I don't even want to listen to it no more. The narrating was good with this one. Okay. Next is Naughty and Nice by Sabrina Scales. Now, this would be considered an erotica. Like, an erotica. Okay. So, the first story, and they're novellas. The first story is Naughty. Right? Yeah, Naughty. And that's with Justin and Nidra. Nidra has like a little trifling man. He, you know, he trifling. So she like waiting for him at night, and you know, she all dressed up in her little negligee. He like, baby, I can't make it. And she just, oh my goodness. In comes Justin. Justin is her neighbor, and they're real cool. They're almost kind of come off like, not brother and sister, but like, you know, you got one of those guy friends that you can talk to about relationships. He can, you know, tell you the tea about like, oh, he not into you. Oh, yeah, he into you. They have that relationship. So she goes over there, you know, just to kind of like talk or whatever. He say some little slick stuff. They go to the bedroom. Girl, this, I was going to say love scene. That ain't no love scene. That sex scene. I'm like, oh, Lord. Yeah, that was a lot. But in comes her little guy again that's trying to get back with her. You know, she's like, I'm not dealing with you or whatever. And it looks like Justin's like, you know, she playing games. Like, is she with him and she's not with him? And he likes her. And clearly they've, you know, now done some stuff. So they're just thinking, they're going on like, should we get together? Should we not? And they really, like I said, like each other. And yeah, I like this one because it was cute. It ended like I wanted it to end. It's extremely sexy. Sabrina Scales, girl, like I said, it's an erotica, okay? Then the second novella is Nasty, and that's with Seth and Fallon. Now, Seth is Nidra's little brother, and Fallon is Justin's older sister. And Justin and Fallon, they have the same birthday, and it's on like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So like they all go, Justin, Nidra, Seth, and Fallon, they like, celebrate with each other their birthdays. And Fallon has come out of a relationship for 5 years, was engaged, and it ain't going so well. So, she's like a free agent. And her thing is like, I'm not really into trying to get nobody right now. I just kind of want to have fun. And then Seth, he's young, he's like 10 years younger than her. And he's known as like a little ladies man. So it looks like they're both not trying to get in relationships, like be in a relationship. So they're like, let's just kick it when we kick it. They start kicking it and realize, when you do that and you compromise your body and all that, them feelings get into, the way, and you like, oh, I kind of like you. I know you like me, but it's like that. This, like I said with the first one with the sex, this was full of sex. It was like, that's all they was thinking about. It was like, I'm all for, okay, you had a little here and there, but come on now. It was kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. But it still was good. I still liked it. You still had a storyline, and I liked the way it ended. So yeah, really good. I do like Sabrina Scales' works. I would have to say though, with eroticas, I can't listen to those back to back to back because it could just be overwhelming, and they don't do regular sex. Y'all read eroticas, y'all know what I'm talking about. That don't be normal sometimes. And then the last story that I listened to is Heart So Reckless by Casey Mills. And this is with Parson and Red. Now Parson, she is like really well established, comes from a wealthy family, real like, straight lace. You have Red, he in the drug game, of course, real cool, talk a good game and all that. So Payson, her relationship is real dubious right now. She not thinking like, I think my man not really faithful to me, and she knows it in the back of her head, but it's like, it is what it is type of thing. Like, and so he's supposed to meet her, I think, at like a hotel. They're having dinner at a hotel or something. He don't come, and in comes Red, and Red sees her because she's like really pretty, and they start talking, and his little relationship is also dubious because I think he got a girlfriend that like messed around too. You know what, our partners, they no good, they treating us dirty. How about we kind of like hook up? This is only a one night stand now. After we do this, we gone. So they had a little rendezvous, which Lord, it was a rendezvous. It wasn't as bad as the last one, but yeah, they do some stuff. And again, the feelings get caught, and they're like, well, maybe we can kind of see each other after this. So like 8 or 9 months go, and some stuff happened. Parson was wrong for what she did. Again, I can't give it away because it'll tell the whole story. I didn't like that. I didn't like that she kept a secret from him. He needed to know that, okay? And then it was that back and forth, that game. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be together, you don't want to be together. Pick a struggle, She was getting on my nerves with that. It's like, girl, you too old for that, okay? What we go do? And then Red, it's like, she's not used to a certain lifestyle. So a little drug game that you in, like, everybody don't know how to work. They set like that. She don't know what to do and what colors to wear and what neighborhood to go to. And, she not used to that. So he got to like catch her on the game with that. And then he's angry that she don't really know about that. It's like, oh, yeah. So this one, it's all right. It ended. It got closure. You did get closure. It wasn't my favorite, but I would be willing to read more of Casey Mills' works. I will. And I think with all of these, although they weren't just my favorite, but I would say the narrating really did hold on, because I'm gonna just be honest, y'all. A lot of like the eroticas and the urban fictions, like, they are the same, you know, stories, clearly, but they still can be different. You know what I mean? And this one, it was kind of like, you know, it's the same. It wasn't anything that just, you know, was spectacular or I kind of remembered. And since I listened to 4 of them, I need a break from urban fiction and eroticas. Like, I got to take breaks. So maybe January, you know, the new year, I might go back and listen to them, because again, with, you know, urban fictions and eroticas, I have to take breaks because it can be a lot. So yeah, I think maybe next year, 2024, Lord willing, I will listen to more of them and give you guys some more recommendations. Also too, if you have some recommendations for me, please give me some, because I'm always looking for, you know, urban fiction, eroticas, black romances, all of that, because I do like those genres. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you. I'll be back with more black books. Bye.